Greetings, everybody. Admiral Neelix here. Welcome to Server 21. First, right off the bat, I would like to thank all the viewers, subscribers, and commenters. You guys, I cannot explain or express how much I appreciate you. You have been so kind and helpful with all the hints, all the tips that you've been giving in comments. Uh, you've really been wonderful in keeping the form of the true spirit of this channel. Which is, of course, to help each other better understand this game. I've learned from you. Some of you learned from me. And we help each other, right? So thank you very much. If you're new to this channel and this is your first time with me, I do have a playlist to where I have been answering questions that I've been getting from my crew members that are either brand new to the game or just simply had a question on, hey, you know what? How do I do this? What do I do here? So there you go. That's what it's about. So let's go ahead and get to it. The question that was in comments that I'm answering today is going to be based on Swarm. If you do not have Pike, if you do not have the Franklin, who and what do you use to fight the Swarm? And because this particular person said he was a beginner to the game and he was just reaching the level to where he's got to fight Swarm, I'm going to have to go all the way back to the basics so that it will make a little more sense. So veterans, please bear with me. We're going to go ahead and get down to it. I am in a Swarm system of level 22. Swarm are interceptors. And you can tell interceptors because right next to the 22 you see that wing. We're going to tap him. Now, the blue button that says scan, right above that where it's highlighted blue wing, we're going to tap that wing and it's going to bring up your combat triangle. Combat triangle says battleship has an advantage over explorer, explorer over interceptor, interceptor over battleship. That is your combat triangle. I'll refer to it as battle triangle sometimes, so don't get confused. All right. We're talking ships only, so we're not going to worry about the armadas and survey ships and so on. So, a couple of things with Swarm. Yes, the Franklin is specifically designed to kill Swarm. However, it is an interceptor, so you can use explorers or other interceptors to kill them. But your best bet is going to use explorers, right? What do you get when killing a Swarm? You get these green guys here. Frequency modulators, or FMs, is what we call them in my server. So I will refer to them as FMs from now on. Can be used to upgrade the components of the USS Franklin. Now, I cannot urge you enough. As soon as you are able to reach the level 15 Swarm area, and I'll show you what ship can start that, start killing Swarms. Make it a part of your daily routine. After you've done your dailies, when maybe about a good half hour or so before you're ready to put the game down, go ahead and kill these guys. Yes, they do get a little boring to kill, but if you think of that one game where you're squishing ants, think of that. It'll kind of be a little more fun for you. But these frequency modulators, FMs, you're going to need a ton of them. Believe me, you're going to need a ton of them, okay? So just keep that part of your daily routine, and then when you get Franklin, you'll have some a surplus built up to where you can tier up your Franklin and give it a head start, if you will, okay? So let's take a look at what we're going to talk about today. Let's open up here on the top left, this tab here. We're going to go to ships. Now, right off the bat, your very first ship is an explorer. It's the Rialta, all right? Do your missions, yada, yada, yada. It cannot reach the level 15 area yet, all right? And I say yet because way later in the game when you get Discovery, you can summons it to anywhere you want. But on its own, even with Cadet Scotty, it most likely will not reach level 15 Swarm. Corvette can't reach there. The Fortunate can't reach there. Fendra is the first ship that can reach there on its own power. So it is equal. It is an interceptor. So you can start killing your level 15 Swarms. You may even be able to kill up to 15, maybe possibly 17. And start building up your FMs. You want to get the Tourists. That's going to be your first one, or Taras. It's an explorer. It's going to kill more swarm for you, therefore building up your FM count and getting you ready to start having that as part of your daily routine, because your dailies will include them a little later in the game. Jellyfish. I do have one already. I had started kind of working on getting a second one just for laughs, but then I gave up on that project. But yes, it is an explorer, and it can kill more and reach a further swarm system than Turas. And now, yes, you can use Cadet Scotty to get you a lot further. However, you don't want to always use Scotty. Not for these things. You want to use Scotty for more of a survey ship or something like that, to get to a better system to mine stuff and things like that. Okay, so there's jellyfish that you can get a couple of ways. Most of the blueprints you're going to get, well, I say most. I think you only get maybe 25 or so. You get some blueprints by way of missions in the game, and then you have to complete it one of two ways. Your spend cash store, your real money store. You can buy the rest of the blueprints there, or you can wait for certain events that happen to where you get the tokens to use to buy blueprints. So if you want to play the free route, go ahead and do that. However, in the meantime, you're going to start getting offers for Franklin. All right, so Franklin, again, you won't get any blueprints within the game. You can either spend real money for it, or again, wait for events and get the tokens to build it slowly, a little bit at a time. Okay, in the meantime, while you're working on getting the Franklin, if you're not going to spend money, go ahead and start working on getting your Voklas. Now, the Voklas is going to kill a lot of swarm for you. It's going to do a great job about it. However, it's going to start losing its power because you're going to start needing to kill higher swarm. All right. Once it starts doing that and you start killing less and less swarm, and you're having to make more trips to those areas, that's when you're going to get really close to getting that Franklin. All right. And some people even get the Mayflower before that and start killing it with that. Kamari does an okay job, and all that. But the thing is, take less trips to kill more ships, if that makes sense. I have another account. It's at level 24. I have the Voklas, and I'm able to kill all the swarm that I need to kill for that daily in one trip. Okay, yes, I go to 3 different systems, but I count one trip as leaving the base once and not having to repair that ship until the mission is done. Okay? So that's my jargon for it. All right. So, Voklas, but Turas. Okay, this is your first great ship for killing swarms. So let's go ahead and take a look. I'm not going to go into details as to ship strength and cargo hold and anything like that. What we're going to do is now we're going to crew her. So let's go to assign officers. All right. Let me get rid of these guys because I don't want to confuse you right off the bat. We're going to start off with an empty lower deck. And I'm going to go ahead and bring on Pike over here. Let's go ahead and set him up there. Let's group Moreau there because I'm going to touch on her. And let's go ahead and put her back. Never mind that Pike and Moreau on the bottom for now. We're going to talk the bridge, which is the top 3 seats. First seat, I have Chen. Second seat, as captain, I have Nyota Uhura. All right, she is the second Uhura that you get by way of recruiting in the game. So you're going to want to get her. And you get Talon. Now, Chen and Talon, you get fairly, very, very early in the game. So you're going to want to pay attention to them. You're going to want to start building them up. Let's take a look at what they do. Chen, she will fight your weapons. If a ship against you basically has an energy weapon, laser beam, phasers, what have you, it says here, energy absorber. If the opponent is a hostile, Chen decreases the damage done by its energy weapons by 30%. Works against hostiles of level 51 and under. All right, so she's great up until then. Now, let's take a look at Talon. Talon, she fights kinetic weapons, which are going to be your photon torpedoes. If they're shooting bullets at you, if they're shooting anything that's solid, hard material, like a missile or something, that's what she takes care of. If the opponent is a hostile, Talon decreases the damage done by its kinetic weapons by 20%. Works against 51 and under, right? Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at Uhura. She's captain, so we're going to take a look at her hailing frequencies open. When the shield is depleted, Uhura has 50% chance of delaying the next opponent weapon fire by 1 round. So every time you fight an enemy, there's going to be a number of rounds. And at the beginning of each round, if you reach a certain point, where your shields are down a little bit, she's going to make it to where the enemy will misfire, giving you the chance to hit it more, okay? So, there you go. That's your first trinity that you're going to be using. Now, you can, with these people, you can use the rest of its crew. I'm going to set up Chen here in the seat so I can group them. You see all the little lightning marks? Those means that they're going to synergize. Synergize are the gold bars that link two of the characters together up on the bridge. You can use Chev. You can use Gonzalez, Vel, Gala. What they do is they help increase your weapon damage against a certain ship. So at level 15, 16, 17, maybe even 18, you can use either one of those bottom crew until you get your Moreau. Okay, so let's go ahead and put her there. We're going to put her there. Now this will be your trinity until you get Pike. Okay, once you get Pike, this will be your trinity. Now keep in mind, Talon, she is good for Swarm, she is good for Borg. Chen is good for every other red. Alright? Talon for Swarm and Borg, Chen for everything else. Remember that. But at your earlier levels, you may not have Moreau and Pike, so go ahead and use these 3 here. Alright? Let's get rid of them. Now let's talk lower decks. If you'll go through my playlist, I have 2 other videos that touch on this. One is called The Crew You Choose. The other one is called Your Lower Decks. Okay? So, the way that I do it, and I'm just going to run through it real quickly for those of you who haven't seen those yet. I like to come here where it says group, and I like to hit that button and then open up this list here, and I want to hit attack. So the very first customer on your game, the very first character that shows up, you want to tap them, all right? And then you want to hit attack again, you want to hit defense, put the first person that shows up, hit that again, hit health, show that and get that person in there. All right. Now, for the last 2 seats, here's where it's going to get a little tricky. I want to go ahead and hit attack again. So I'm going to go ahead and put this guy, and then check this out. When you start understanding reading these things, we're going to go to info, attack, defense, and health. You're going to look at these numbers, and you're going to see why they're placed where they're placed, right? 6 of 11, I want to put here. Why? Because he's got a pretty good, almost equal number on all 3. He's in the 2000s on attack and health, and defense is almost 2000. All right? So he adds a pretty good balance there at the end. And if you don't have him, then go ahead and hit your other defense guy. Hit whoever is going to show up first in that seat, and then maybe compare the next few to see who's going to better suit that. What we're building up are the numbers here on the right where it says defense, health, and attack, right? Okay. So, coming close to the end, let's get to the finished product. I chose level 22 because those of you who are lower level, this is going to be the closest thing to what you're going to witness. Now, of course, again, my Turas cannot on its own leave the system that my base is in because it's a higher system, so it doesn't have the warp range to leave it, so I have to use my discovery to summons. So here we go. Let's go ahead and summons that and bring the Taras here, which should be showing up. And there we go. He was hiding. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and attack him. As you'll see, my ship is at 99,000, and that is 113,000. When you are with the Taras and the Fendra, your numbers are going to be gauged around its area there, okay? So we're going to kill that. I'm going to tap him. You're going to see that I'm killing him. And blah. And you'll look at the damage that it was done to my tourists. Let's go ahead and we'll hit battle log for that. And bring that in. And you'll see that I have suffered a little bit of damage. Totally annihilated that one. And you can go ahead and read your battle logs and see what they did. I'm just going to scroll through the first 3 rounds. That way you can pause it. The pause symbol will show up in the middle, so it won't take away from anything you're trying to look at. And here we are in round 4 already. I said I was going to go 3, and that's going to be it. All right, so let's go back. All right, I got a little damage. Killed it. Did the job. All right. So you who are beginning, again, remember your battle triangle, your combat triangle. These are interceptors that we're killing. You want to get to where you're using explorers for it. Other interceptors will do, but explorers will do better. And again, as soon as you can reach swarm, and as soon as you start killing them, start building up that surplus. Make it a part of your playing routine. Either the first thing you do, or you're bored and you're out and about and you just, want something to do, kill swarm. I am not joking about this. They take a ton of FMs, and I'm not kidding. Okay, so that's going to be the end of the video for today, guys. I hope everybody's doing well. I know stress levels are high with all the COVID, and especially now the war going on overseas. So, this game can add to the frustration, whether you know it or not. And if it starts giving you some really bad frustration and all, just put the game away for a little while. Maybe not engage with other players, for a little bit. And of course, talk to your friends that are in your chat rooms, of course. But, when people start being rude to you and everything like that, that's where it gets frustrating. It's just a game. Don't take it too seriously. There's a lot of smack talk, so learn the difference between smack talk and then just people being rude. You know what I mean? Come here, kill some swarm, build up your frequency modulators, your FMs, and when you get your Franklin, you'll be all the happier for it because you'll have a head start. So, guys, until next time, like, subscribe, share if you liked it. Of course, all that's up to you, and I appreciate it when you do. And until next time again, man, hey, you know what? Have fun and take care.